What if I told you Britain is building a new fighter jet right now to replace the Typhoon? Right now, inside secure buildings in the UK, engineers are working quietly. There are no cameras and no public visits allowed. This secret project is called Tempest, and it is made to change air combat completely. This is not a normal upgrade. Tempest can fly with a pilot or fly without one. It can also control drones during missions. Its radar can read huge amounts of data very fast. That data helps the jet make quick combat choices, so the jet helps the pilot think faster. For Britain, Tempest is very important. It protects jobs, factories, and defense power. This project costs about £30 billion. If Tempest fails, Britain must buy jets from others. If Tempest works, Britain stays strong in the sky. Time is moving fast. The first test flight is planned for 2027. The jet should enter service by 2035. Other countries are building similar jets too. So can Tempest keep Britain ahead? Stay till the end to understand why this jet matters. So it's all started when Britain saw the future changing fast. For many years, the Eurofighter Typhoon protected the country. But by the 2010s, new threats began to appear. Stronger missiles, better radars, and stealth jets entered service. These systems could see and track older fighters easily. The Typhoon was no longer enough. Russia deployed the S-400 missile system. China introduced new stealth aircraft. Hypersonic weapons became real and dangerous. Airspace turned hostile and unforgiving. Survival in the sky became harder. For British engineers, this moment was emotional. Their parents built the Spitfire, Harrier, and Tornado. Those jets gave Britain pride and independence. Losing that skill meant losing control of defense. That idea was unacceptable. In 2015, a secret defense review reached a conclusion. Britain needed a sixth-generation fighter. Buying from others would mean dependence. Doing nothing would mean falling behind. In 2018, the decision became public. At Farnborough, Britain revealed Tempest. The goal was not just replacement. The goal was to move ahead of everyone. But there was a problem. The cost was massive. The technology was complex. Britain could not do it alone. So it searched for partners. And that decision changed the future of Tempest. So it's all changed because air defenses can now see almost everything. Across modern skies, radars track normal jets from very far away. Along with radar, heat sensors spot hot engines easily. At the same time, sound sensors listen for engine noise. Speed alone no longer keeps pilots safe. Because of this, Tempest had to become hard to detect. For pilots, stealth is not comfort. It is the difference between landing safely and being targeted. Once a jet is seen, missiles can follow quickly, so staying unseen comes first. To do this, Tempest uses a special airframe shape. With angled surfaces, radar signals are scattered away. With a delta wing, reflections are reduced even more. Weapons stay inside the body, not on the wings. This removes strong radar returns. The engine exhaust is also redesigned. With heat control, the jet shows less warmth. That makes heat-seeking missiles less effective. But stealth goes deeper than shape. Inside the jet, heat is managed carefully. Instead of releasing heat, it is spread and controlled. This lowers the chance of being detected. Every system supports stealth. If this works, Tempest enters enemy airspace unseen. If it fails, the jet is tracked at once. There is no middle option in modern war. That is why stealth matters so much. But hiding alone is not enough. Tempest also needs huge power to fight. And that power comes from its engine next. So it's all different because Tempest's engine does more than push the jet forward. In older fighters, the engine only makes speed. In Tempest, the engine also makes power. That power runs every system on the aircraft. This turns the engine into the heart of the jet. The engine is built by Rolls-Royce with a new design. It creates thrust and electric power at the same time. That power feeds sensors, weapons, and onboard computers. These systems need far more energy than older jets ever used. Inside the engine are generators placed in the turbine core. These generators make huge amounts of electricity. They can power advanced radar and future weapons. This includes systems like lasers and fast data processing. But the engine also handles heat in a new way. Instead of pushing heat out, it controls heat inside the jet. This keeps systems cool during long flights. It also helps reduce heat detection from enemy sensors. If this engine works, Tempest gains abilities no other fighter has. If it fails, the whole program fails with it. Every system depends on this power source. That makes the engine the biggest risk and the biggest strength. Next comes the brain. Modern air combat creates more information than any pilot can handle. Every second, radars, sensors, and warnings flood the cockpit. Human brains were never built to process this much data. That problem forced a new solution. Tempest uses AI to work with the pilot. This AI does not take control of the jet. It works as a helper and advisor. For pilots, this means clear focus instead of overload. The AI removes useless data and shows real danger first. It suggests actions while the pilot stays in charge. Decisions stay human, but speed becomes machine fast. Tempest's radar gathers massive data every second. This amount is far more than older fighters ever managed. The AI studies it instantly and spots threats early. Targets are ranked before the pilot reacts. The cockpit itself also changes. Old screens and dials are removed. Information appears on the pilot's visor. Threats and paths are shown right in front of the eyes. But the AI does not stop there. It also controls drone wingmen. These drones scout, jam signals, or strike targets. The pilot directs the fight like a commander. If this AI works, Tempest becomes far stronger. If it fails, pilots face overload again. That risk makes this system critical. Next comes the weapons this smart jet can use. Tempest is built to carry weapons inside its body. This keeps the jet hidden while flying deep into danger. At first, it can carry modern missiles like other fighters, but that is only the starting point. Tempest is made for weapons not built yet. The jet is designed to use hypersonic missiles. These missiles move so fast that defense systems struggle to react. They can strike targets from very long distances. Tempest is also planned to use laser weapons. These lasers can destroy missiles and drones instantly. This changes how air battles are fought. The jet also works with loyal wingman drones. These drones fly beside or ahead of Tempest. They can scout enemy areas and send data back. They can also attack or block enemy systems. The pilot controls more than one aircraft. This turns one jet into a small air force. If this weapon system works, Tempest becomes far stronger than any fighter today. If it fails, the jet loses its main advantage. That is why weapon design matters so much. But weapons alone are not enough. Threats change with time, so Tempest must be able to change too. That leads to its most important idea next. Most fighter jets become outdated after 20 years. New technology appears, and old systems fall behind. Expensive jets then lose value and usefulness. That cycle forced a new idea. Tempest is built to change over time. Instead of staying fixed, Tempest is made to evolve. For planners, this solves a big problem. No one knows future threats in advance, but you can prepare by building flexibility. Tempest is meant to last for decades. Its design uses modular systems. Parts can be removed, replaced, or upgraded easily. New sensors and weapons can be added later. This avoids building a whole new jet each time. That saves time and money in the long run. Around 30% of the jet is 3D printed. This allows faster production and easier changes. Engineers also use digital twins. These are virtual copies of the real aircraft. They test upgrades before installing them. This reduces risk and mistakes. Software updates also change how the jet fights. Tempest can learn and improve without redesign. If this system works, Tempest stays modern for years. If it fails, upkeep becomes difficult. And that brings the biggest question next. Can Britain afford this forever jet? Tempest comes with a very high cost. Early estimates place the price near £30 billion. For Britain, that is a huge decision. The defense budget is smaller than the US or China, so every pound matters. For many taxpayers, the price feels heavy. That money could fund hospitals, schools, and roads. Critics call the project too risky. They say Britain should spend less, but planners see a different risk. So far, Britain has committed about £2 billion. More funding followed in 2023 for development work. The final cost is still not fixed. It depends on production and partners. This creates uncertainty. Buying foreign jets is cheaper at first, but those jets are never owned fully. Building Tempest means full control. It also supports thousands of jobs. Factories, engineers, and suppliers all benefit. The money stays inside the economy. If Tempest sells abroad, costs drop fast. If it fails, the loss is painful. That is the real gamble. And Britain is not making it alone. Because next comes the international alliance behind Tempest. Building a 6th-generation fighter alone is almost impossible. The cost is high, and the technology is complex. No single country wants to carry that burden alone. Because of this, Britain chose a new path. It formed an alliance with Italy and Japan. Japan supports manufacturing and advanced technology. Together, they share the load. For the UK, this partnership is a smart move. It lowers costs and spreads risk. It also strengthens ties with strong allies. This is teamwork through engineering. Japan's role is especially important. It is Japan's first major fighter project with Western partners. That makes this more than a plane. It becomes a global signal, but alliances bring challenges. Each country has its own goals and rules. Trust and balance are required every step. If the partnership stays strong, Tempest moves faster. If it breaks, the project slows or fails. So cooperation is critical, and now comes the real test. Can this team deliver Tempest on time? The schedule now drives every decision around Tempest. The first demonstrator flight is planned for 2027. By 2035, Tempest must fully replace the Typhoon. That leaves very little time to get everything right. For engineers, this pressure never stops. Every delay affects testing, production, and training. One misstep can push the whole program back. That risk keeps teams awake at night. By mid-2025, major progress was already made. About 2/3 of the aircraft structure was built. Assembly is now moving forward piece by piece. Ground tests will come before the first flight. All eyes are on 2027. The demonstrator is not just a test plane. It checks the engine, stealth, AI, and weapons together. If one system fails, the program slows down. That makes this aircraft extremely important. Funding also depends on success. If the flight happens on time, trust increases. If delays grow, political support weakens. Some experts say the timeline is too fast. Others say speed is the only way to stay relevant. There is no easy answer. Digital design helps reduce mistakes early. Virtual testing happens before real parts are built. This speeds up development more than ever before. Still, one big question remains. In a future full of drones and AI, does a manned fighter still matter at all? For more than 100 years, fighter jets shaped war. Pilots ruled the sky with speed and skill. But today, drones are cheaper and faster to build. They can be lost without risking lives. That creates a serious question. Is Tempest the future or the end of an era? For pilots, this question feels personal. Flying is not just a job. It is identity, training, and tradition. Losing manned jets means losing that world. For planners, emotion comes second. What matters is what wins wars. Tempest answers this with flexibility. It can fly with a pilot. It can fly without a pilot. It can also fly in hybrid mode. This allows choices, not limits. Think of Tempest as control with options. Humans lead when judgment matters most. Machines take over when risk is extreme. That balance is powerful. Some experts say humans will always matter. Others say machines react faster every time. Both sides make strong points. Tempest stands between them. If manned jets survive, Tempest leads. If they fade, Tempest still adapts. So the real question remains, is Tempest the last pilot's jet or the first aircraft of a new age? Tempest is not just a fighter jet. It is a risk Britain chose to take. A £30 billion bet on skill, control, and independence. A belief that manned fighters still matter. And a belief that sovereignty has a price. Many people see Tempest as a weapon, but it is really a decision. A decision to build, not borrow. A decision to lead, not follow. That choice defines the entire program. Ambition alone is not enough. Designing the future means nothing without delivery. Plans must turn into metal and flight. If Britain cannot build Tempest, the vision fails. Right now, engineers are working every day. They are testing, fixing, and improving each system. They are not just building a jet. They are building national confidence. The year 2027 is more than a date. It is a moment of truth. A flight that proves belief or exposes doubt. Think back to the ghost in the machine. Now its purpose is clear. A jet made to hide, adapt, and strike. Tempest is not flying yet, but its impact has already begun. And in modern war, being second is never enough. Tempest is more than metal and code. It is ambition, risk, and refusal to fall behind. For Britain, this choice was necessary because sovereignty is built, not given. And that truth shapes everything. You just stepped inside Britain's boldest defense program. From stealth and AI to power and weapons. From alliances to timelines and pressure. This is the future if delivery succeeds, and the world is watching closely. If this breakdown changed how you see Tempest, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives. We cover advanced military technology every week. Share this with anyone who doubts Britain's industry. Now it's your turn. Is Tempest the future of air combat or the last of a fading era? Tell us below. We read every comment.